Hifiman HE1000s, $3,000. Fuck. Okay. I don't like the wires it comes with. Here are the 3 wires it comes with. Comes with a 1/4 inch. Comes with an XLR balanced, and it comes with a 3.5 millimeter for portable use. And they're all very lightweight and like that. That is literally how do the wires. They're the how the wires is. How is wires is there is. One of the first things I did after I got this in for review, because the guy said, take your time with it. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to take my time with it. I ain't using any of these fucking wires. So I bought this. This is a replacement wire, or a short wire, 2.5 millimeter. By the way, it uses 2.5 millimeter wires. Thank you. It's for the HE1000. This cost me like 30 bucks. I figured if I'm going to be using $3,000 headphones, I might as well have a comfortable short set to put on a little portable. Put my Oppo Hot 2, plug in here, sit on the couch, listen. It's perfect. So after I got these, a company contacted me, Relic Interconnects, otherwise known as Hi-Fi Can. They said, hey, we're going to start making cables. We want you to test one. What kind of cable do you want? And I said, HE1000, because I just got one. So a little mini review is, here is that cable. And it is just, compared to the shit it came with, and this is shit. This is glorious. He needs to work on the thickness and stiffness of his heat shrink. A little bit too stiff here, but then it just terminates beautifully. Oh, the cable has weight to it. These cables have no weight to them. They feel like it's just, like they took like a thin wire and they just stretched cardboard with it. A strip of cardboard and then wrapped it in fabric, and there you go. So now keep in mind, this is the version 1. There is a version 1 and a version 2 of these on Amazon currently. The version 1 is only $2,200, so it's a fucking bargain. And the version 2 are again $3,000. And there's a few differences which I have to go over right now between the V1 and the V2, because I was going to give this a startlingly terrifying review until I went to New York Audio Show and I picked up another set. Well, wait, these don't have that same problem. I think they changed the wire, so these wire materials are just fucking gone, thank you. And they fixed the headband thing, or they attempted to fix it. See, the headband structure here, this whole thing, is exactly the same as on the 400i's and the 400S and the 560s and all the other Hifimans. It's the exact same. They didn't change any of the actual engineering behind it. But they made these metal instead of plastic. And because these are metal on this version, the clickety-click is so loose that even though it clamps and holds like that, any movement will just make this go. It just clicks down on your head. That is so fucking annoying. On a $3,000 set of headphones, this section, they should just spend a little more time on it. This should be different from their other headphones. Covered the wires, covered the headband. I don't mind this leather strap thing with the holes. It seems alright. It seems high enough quality. It's good enough. Here's the box, by the way. Hifiman always usually has a nice box. I found this box incredibly lacking. Their 560 or their 400i had a much better box. Oh, by the way, all these cables that I hate so much were jammed in this little hole. Just folded really fucking hard. And I had to let them loose and spin for like 3 weeks before they would just straighten out. So, useless. Useless box. Don't like it. They could have come up with something much more creative for their, flagship headphones. Wires band boxes, okay? Good accessory cables. The headphones themselves. Well, look at them. Do they not look they look like they're worth $3,000. Just boom. They're comfortable. You put them on. You got these mega 4-knuckle pads. That's easily 4 knuckles. They're velour with a perforated inside of it. I think it's leather. Is this? I'm going to make the assumption that this is leather, and that this is perforated leather. And you've got the suspended piece of cloth right there. You put them on, they get a little warm around the ear, and when the heat's on, you're fine. As soon as this doesn't click down, so they fixed the click down on V2, so don't worry about it. Stainless steel. I think this has to be spring steel. Thank you, Johnny Bravo. You want to know what makes these good? This entire area, everything you see inside this yellow PCB ring, that's all the membrane. How a driver, speaker like that, moves in and out. There's just a driver that big. Planar magnetic and electrostatics use a membrane. And this membrane is the biggest of any of them. I think of any. I don't know if you took the square centimeters of this membrane and compared it against like the Abyss or some of those other insanely expensive. I hate that has to go on. Insanely expensive. If this has the biggest, but it seems like it should be the biggest. And it's very exposed. I could touch it right there if I wanted to just jab my finger into it and damage it. Because he said, no, you leave the pads on and no one will touch it. He's taken away as much structure as he could in designing these so that there's less blocking that membrane from producing sound. And because this membrane is so big that when you wear them and when you're listening to things, clickety-clack, when you're listening to things, it's hard to put it into perspective against another set of headphones, because usually you hear things here. Now you're hearing things here. It's everywhere. You could slide the whole headphone forward or backwards and it doesn't make a difference. Because there's just this, when it's that close to you, it's like a goddamn closet door just emitting sound in your face. Should I go over the list? Remember that list that I made? I found it. Comfort, I think we've covered most of it. Materials, the weight. They're not any heavier than, say, the old HE500s. Those might have even been heavier. And they're flatter than those. It's only, once you take this pad off, it's only that thick. So it's not sticking out. Those HE500s used to stick way the hell out, and the headband system on those were really shit. And it'd be terrifying to wear. When you wear these, they're actually moderately comfortable. The weight doesn't get to you. The 2.5mm plugs do sort of stick out a little bit. For how long these are, you got to assume top of your ear is here. This is like shoulder height. You get real close to where that exists. So you just got to keep that in mind. I was sitting here, and if I turn my head the wrong way or the right way or do that, it would hit the connector into my shoulder, just from the length. These are these are HE1000 problems. Hashtag HE1000 problems. How efficient are they? Well, here you see everything I own turned on. I got the Jotunheim here for the balance connection. I've got the Arist here for 1/4 inch, although I could just run it off the Yote. And then if I wanted to, I could run the tube through it, and everything can go. In fact, let's make it go. Come here. Does the balanced make an effect on it? Yes. I am a believer in balanced audio. That's why I converted my 2000Xs. It wasn't just because their wire was insanely long, it was because I wanted to know if balanced could improve them. I bought the balanced cable for my HC600s. Balanced improved it. The problem is balanced is very rare as far as like no cell phones have balanced. No portable players except for like the H and K. A and K, Arsenal and Kern. A and K have balance. So it's not a matter of is it better? I think it's better. It's a matter of not many things have it. We're talking about a very small percentage, but when you're looking at $3,000 headphones, you might as well go all the way. Wait, here it comes. That's 9. All right. We'll discuss bass first. Got that, all about that bass. It's huge. Huge bass. Now that isn't a normal statement. where it's like, oh, it's very tight bass, it's very fast bass. This is like I'm inside a drum. Because I am. I'm literally inside. If you combine those two things, it's like a 6-inch drum that's just beating around my head right now. Bobby Digital, Glorious Day is what's playing, by the way. From the Afro Samurai OST. Oh, and can you hear them projecting? I know you could hear them playing because I did a cooking video where these were just playing on the table, and it was like there was a speaker, like a little fucking Bluetooth speaker just playing. So they just shoot audio just straight out the sides. Next track. Soundstage with the stock pads, because I had done a little bit of pad rolling with this, even though no one pad rolls these, but I have to do what I have to do. And I actually did enjoy some of the things that happened when I threw on like the ZMF pads. When I say on, I mean inside, literally inside that cavern. The ZMF pads fit. I was just worried about damaging the membrane, so I stopped. Soundstage is just, The only thing with bigger soundstage is the X1s, X2s, because those things exaggerate the hell out of it with magic. By the way, high power on the Jotunheim, and I'm at like 55%. Oh, everything's so clear. Alright, why are you buying these? Well, you've got $3,000 to spend, or if you want the X1s, $2,200 to spend, or if you look, you could actually get the exact same size headphone called the Edition X, either in the Revision 1 for $1,000 or the Revision 2 for $1,300. And I'm really curious about how much worse it could be, because it's the same fucking shape. It's less than half. I mean, it's half price. It's $1,300. But I mean, what are they doing differently that's making this one so much worse? Back to the music. Back to the music. Hold on. So low end is not overbearing. It just feels so natural. Detail. Devil is in the details. It's just the smallest little thing, you could hear all of it. Pirates 4, Blackbeard's theme. The Star Wars Ewok celebration. Now, keeping in mind that I do prefer, I want to make it a fair fight. Hold on. Please don't sue me, George Lucas. Nom nom. A little more power. There's just something about 4-pin XLR, and it's. I would love to have someone. I have to build a test rig that allowed you to blind test this, and it would have to balance because this one's got slightly more gain than this one. Doesn't matter. The headphones are exceptional in whatever source, your phone. It may not be able to power them fully, but it'll power them. The imaging is not as good as a good set of stacks. And if we turn to the right, if you look out the right side of the review desk today, you'll see both sets of ether flows, 2 sets of ZMFs, 800S, the SR300 stacks, and the Beyerdynamic T1s. And because those are here for review and coming up, I'm pretty sure this one coming out first, I can't hold these up and say, these are the greatest things I've ever heard. Because those are all here. This is the second time I'm doing this review. I did the first one and I really wasn't into the groove. I wasn't angry enough. I didn't have the flow. The spice must flow for me to do a review. That's why it takes so damn long sometimes. I looked at my wall and I said, there's something about every one of those headphones that I love. 2000X's, female vocals, the highs, the imaging, they're the best. The stacks, Those are my 207 Ultras. Just the immediacy of the detail and the crazy bass with that mod is the best. You go all the way down even to the Superlux 669s and the X1s with their soundstage and the 712s with their just gentle detail rubbing in your face. What is it about the HE1000s that I love more than any other headphone? And I can't figure it out. It's not there. That's just me. Keep that in mind. It's just me. I've heard more headphones than most people have seen. And I'll either just browse by a headphone and be like, it's whatever. It's better, for the price. It's fun. Or every once in a while, a headphone will step up and actually say, look at me. This is what I can do better than everyone else. And I will probably buy that fucking headphone and put it on the wall. The 1000s here should have that thing. But I can't find it. I put them on all the time. I have people come over. They want to try them. Put them on. What? But what? Because everything is within nominal levels. It's just better at all those things, but within nominal levels. It doesn't stand out in any particular category as better than just one category. Maybe it's all the categories, and it automatically bell curves back to a flat line. I don't know. Imaging is great. Imaging is as good as my 2000Xs or as those stacks for shit sure. Mid-range, mid-tones, oh my god, vocals, yes. But there's other headphones that do it just as well. The bass, I gotta give it, the bass is probably where it's coming in the closest for naturalness, for natural sounding. But natural sounding bass is not, pedestal worthy stuff, unless that's specifically what you want. In which case, here you go. For giggles, hold on. 9, 10, 11. Thank you, desk. Alright, no giggles today, because that just completely unplugged that. That's why I like doing F-millimeter. They unplug really easily. That's a benefit. I respect these headphones. I know how much went into them. I know how it doesn't cut any corners. And they sound great. But if you said I could have, you can never sell them and there's no cost involved, this set of headphones are one of those. It's going to be one of those. So these were, when I had first heard them at a Head-Fi meet, the most relaxing headphone. When someone asked me, the person who sent me these, he's like, well, what's a headphone that I just want just relax. Here you go. These are the most relaxing. Get like the B&O H6 or the B&W P7s, and then make them 10 times more money and planar. And here you go. That's all I could say. I wish that I had the Edition X to compare to, because I'm pretty sure there would be no reason to buy these with the Edition X. What could these do twice as much money better than those, considering they have the same shape, which means they're going to have the same size diaphragm, which means they're going to, I don't know. That's a goal. I don't know if I would Patreon money $1,000 set of headphones or $1,300 set of headphones. It seems like a waste of the money just to tell myself what's going on. But I can't see $3,000 being this. The wood inlay, beautiful. This leather is soft, comfortable. They look like that. They're great. They're great. But what's the best part about them? You tell me I'm sure I'm going to get 100 dislikes in the comments for this review, because it's sort of like, oh, he's so wishy-washy, he doesn't know what he's doing about it. He's a Trump supporter. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Hillary supporter either. Poor Fidel Castro. He missed his chance to run this country. Well, that's a weird political opinion. But in the comments, now that I've got another 150 dislikes from that, in the comments, if you've heard these or you own them, tell me why. Tell me what specific thing Because it's very hard to narrow down for me what is specifically what makes these better than all of their headphones. Is it literally just the average is just higher, so therefore this? Or is there something specific you liked over something else maybe? Sound demo's in the description, and I'm not 100% sure it's going to bring out what these can do, because that, just the space there is just weird. It's just weird. It's so weird to record with. But yeah.